part of the Dharma practice is, watching your mind and getting to know your mind and know this. So this is what we'll do now. Like we'll train that now. Like for the 6 perfections, again, what I want to say, it is actions, but it's actions of a bodhisattva. Somebody who really has decided that he or she wants to attain full awakening in order to help or to lead everybody to that state. So it's quite high, and also you're not starting with that. You're kind of going through these steps. As I said, we become aware. We start to know the Four Noble Truths. We become aware that we can do something, that we do have limited choice somewhere. We do have, and then to go these steps, to really be happy about the situation that we have, to make a decision to use it. Like, kind of, if you want to go on a journey, right, you need to first know where you want to go. I mean, you can also just go wherever, but then maybe where you end up is not where you wanted to go. So, and that's not how our mind works. I mean, none of you go, me neither, goes to the airport and thinks, oh, the first plane that is going somewhere, I'll take it. Nobody would do that. If you want to have a good time, you choose. So for some, a good time is a really dangerous trip to the Himalayas and try to climb Mount Everest. For somebody else, it's just lying on the beach in Thailand. I mean, I'm not saying one is better than the other. Again, please try to hear that I'm not really trying not to be extreme. So once you have decided, yes, I would like to not to be under the control of my negative emotions anymore. I mean, that would be the decision that is being made, and then same as when you're sick, you need a certain therapy, you need to do certain things, you need to let go of other things that are not helpful, you need to study, you need to know, and then you need to do it. So in order to do it, at first we know where we want to go, and then you have to look, do I have what I need? So you have to check, do I have somebody who is instructing me? Do I have my faith in my own potential? Do I have people around me who are also practicing that? Am I free from being terribly clinically depressed or very sick or whatever? Because otherwise you can't start. Then it's better to go and see a therapist first to help you come to a healthy mind level. So like that. And then we're happy about the situation that we're in, and then, the next question that we ask ourselves is, will it last? Because we think we're going to live forever. Again, the instinctive feeling that we have, we know we're going to die, but the instinctive feeling that we have is that, well, at least, okay, I'll die, but not today. Yeah. Tonight, we all of us are, me also, 100% convinced that we're still alive. Yeah. Maybe some of you have already made a decision, I'm coming back here tomorrow. How can we be so sure? But we're 100% sure. So if we hear that one of you has died, somebody comes and tells you, I won't say any name because other people this and this has died, I don't know what would happen to the course. It would probably stop. And we would start making practices or something like that. We would definitely be shocked. Although we see people die around us all the time, so we're not living with that natural law. We're kind of doing things that are absolutely not helpful for our time of day. And it seems to be a terrible thing to die also. It's a natural law. If you're born, you have to die. But we make something out of it that it is not. And then very often there's this clinging to life, and it's really important to live a long life. And it's not so important anymore what kind of life quality you have. I mean, if you look at old people, do you want to be like this? You see, also when they were your age, they would also have said, no, I don't want to be like this. But they have become like this. Why? Because there's this clinging, and because death seems to be such a terrible thing. A failure. Yes, death is a failure. So we need to fail properly. We need to learn to fail properly. This is this talk by this Stefinsky, which says, death is dying gracefully is like you learn to fail gracefully, because death is failure. Yeah, it's okay, but you can fail gracefully. like that. So then, okay, so you know it's not going to last, so then we use it now. You know, nothing, I'm not putting it off, but again, not obsessively that you give everything away and you only practice Dharma, but some free time that you have, you give to Dharma. Then the next question is what comes next. Yeah? We look at karma and rebirth, how the mind gets reborn. That's a matter of faith. Either you believe it or you don't. I mean, there's no way I can prove to you that whatever we're creating now will ripen in 3 or 4 or 1,000 lifetimes or in 5 minutes. I don't know. It's one of the most hidden phenomena. Only somebody who is fully awakened can actually see how karma works. So the same way, you know, you put the seed into the ground, which has a potential to become an olive tree. Yeah, if it meets the right conditions, it will become a very healthy tree. But it can even it can meet the right conditions, and the seed who came from the same tree, it can be two totally different trees. Not totally, but 2 different trees. So many conditions that come together that we don't see. Then we start to study that, and then we start to take care of our actions, so that at least we're not falling into a lower state in the next life. And then is this wish to really to get rid of all negative emotions, not just to be ethical, not just not to do negative actions, but also to work with negative emotions. And then we start to see that everybody is in the same state, you know, as us. Everybody has this potential, and nobody can really live it. And so then the wish is for us, okay, I'll go, I learn, I practice, I attain this liberation from my negative emotions, and especially my wrong views. What for? In order to help all beings who are ready to be helped. Okay? So again, just briefly, so that nothing is black and white, the milk issue. Of course, people come talk to me because it's very unfair. You know, I have the microphone. You were sitting there. You're not allowed to say anything. And you come and tell me in the break. And yeah, very good arguments. Also, it's true. I have to agree with Tommy had said. You know, if you ask everybody to bring their own milk, everybody will bring a liter because it's very difficult. Yeah, that's what you say. Very difficult to find them. You don't find them everywhere. You find them in the very small convenience stores. And then we have all these liters of milk, and then it will go bad, and it's big waste. Then something else also is like the waste of the cows is needed for, you know, as fertilizer or whatever. And the people they're living with it. All I want to, we can go with these arguments, yes or no. All I want you to say, if you see somebody having cows and earning their living with that, please, it's their choice. And that's it, that's all what I'm saying. Yeah, don't attack them because it becomes dangerous to be a farmer, like they get attacked. And I remember when I was in Absor, they have turkeys. I mean, I could go on about this now because it's really terrible what we do to them, what humans do to them, but people earn their money. So then, you know, the naive Buddhists, Inbal and me, we go down to the cages and recite mantras. So then at least they have like good rebirth. So the first few years there was no problem. We were there middle of the night, nobody came, we chanted and recited. Maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. At least it doesn't do any harm. So that they don't have to be reborn in such a body anymore. But now they have cameras. But it didn't take long. So not last year. The year before, a Bedouin came. So we explained what we were doing. And he said, yeah, good, because they're going to be taken away next week anyway. So it's a good thing what we're doing. Last year it was just an ordinary guard. And he said, very strange. But he let us do it, and he said, but don't liberate them. I said, well, yeah, excuse me, I'm not stupid. This is in the middle of the desert. I'm not going to liberate these animals. How are they going to survive? But he says, people do it. These people who, you know, animal rights and all this, they don't open the cages. I mean, that's the most stupid thing that you can do, because then they die under really bad circumstances in the desert. How are they going to survive? Animals that never learned how to look after their own food. So again, please don't become extremists. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to mention. So that again, it's like, you know, we could talk about this forever and ever and ever and ever. So yeah. So like that. So everybody makes their own choice and doesn't criticize the others. Okay? Okay. So we do a mindfulness meditation. If now, if you feel like saying something to support that part, then yeah, disengage, this identify from that. Yeah, it's a difficult topic. I mean, also we cannot save the world, by the way. The world, the universe has been created through causes and conditions. Something that has been created through causes and conditions will destroy itself whether we want or not. We can speed up the process, that's for sure. That's what we're doing now. Whether we can reverse it or not, I don't know. What I find from my side, I'm just doing whatever I can. And I see that, whatever I do for me, then that's good enough. It's better than to get angry and aggressive and against other people, and they should also, and this and that. I don't have a car. I have Swiss friends, they need a car because they live in the mountain where you have one bus a day. They need to go to work. So it's like, they have a car. Here also, many people need a car. In Switzerland, you live in the city, you don't need a car. So many young people don't, but some have, so it's okay. I have a bicycle, then when it's, flowers for the altar, I go to the flower field. So for me, the altar only gets flowers in the summer when they're there, and then you cut them, you put money in a box. I don't buy flowers from Kenya, but then again, I am destroying the business for the people in Kenya. I am aware of that. We can turn however we want to turn. Something that is good for everybody, it's not too late, it never was. And it's not possible. That is what is called samsara. So this is why we have to attain liberation very, very quickly. And then we can repay the kindness. Yeah, okay. So let's just sit maybe in a relaxed way. Don't take on the responsibility that you have to save the world. You cannot. We can contribute to be kind of happy earthlings by being kind and having a good heart. That's already a good thing. As the previous Karmapa said, he said, better to be a peaceful meat eater than an aggressive vegetarian. So that's as a spiritual practitioner, this is our first task, to keep our minds peaceful. Then we go on a journey if we have like issues with things, then we can. Okay. So try to connect with your body. And just be happy that we are alive. It's a wonderful thing. Every moment we can find moments of joy. And it's wonderful. We could all have died last night, but we did not. Yeah. And we never, we're not aware of it, how fragile our life is. And then we let the mind go in whatever direction it wants to go. But while the negative emotion is up, we feel strong, we feel good, we feel justified to do or say whatever we want to say. But then when the emotion kind of slowly fizzles out, then we start to feel, and we're not feeling it in the head. These emotions, you feel them in the body. So actually dissolving or transforming negative emotion, that happens in the body. Sometimes in the chest, sometimes you feel them in the stomach. Sometimes you even feel them in the genitals, like a pulling or a narrowness, something, a sensation. And And then the problem is that we identify with it, we go along with it, and then we create what is called unskillful actions. Actions that might, yes, change the situation temporarily, but in the long run, it creates aggression in the other person, and it creates negative potential for ourselves, and it strengthens our tendencies. So always a good measure is, if I would be in the situation of the other person, how would I want to be treated? How would I want to be told that what I'm doing is not okay? And also with mindfulness, we train ourselves to really see both sides, not just mine. So whenever your mind is really relaxed, joy and happiness have a good chance to arise in it. Actually, they're already there. And relaxed, not meaning sleepy, but relaxed and awake. So you can use your breath in order to relax the mind a bit more, because the mind usually is always tense, but we don't feel it because we have become habituated to it. It's quite rare that we have moments when we're fully awake and totally relaxed. So we need to give everything more space. So as you breathe in, totally be aware of your body. And when I talk about body, actually I'm talking about sensations. This is how we notice the body. Points of contact. Feel how your feet are, if you're in a chair, are touching the ground. If you're sitting on a cushion, how the lower part of your body touches the ground, and just stay there without having any comments about it. No views, this right, this wrong, whatever. Just train the mind to just notice and see what is there as you breathe in. Wherever you feel something, you notice it as you're breathing in. Whenever you breathe out, then you try to become very spacious with the body. You can also, sometimes very easy, it's like you think you're breathing with your whole body. And again, meditation, try to sit up with a straight back. Need to make an effort because it's going to be very short. It will be 10 minutes. Because then we're straightening the energy channels, and that helps the mind to be awake and calm. So either, imagine that it's your whole body is breathing, then it becomes much wider than just the breath. Or if it's the breathing itself, with each out-breath, you think that you are kind of becoming wider, more open, very spacious. Don't worry so much about how. Don't think that you're opening up. Then whatever happens is fine. Don't force anything. think you're not relaxed, then go into the feeling of being narrow, like rejecting something. And then give it more space by just observing it, just to be with it. Don't expect it to go away. That is not observing it. That is pushing it away. That is creating more tension. And then it's so important that we develop that trust in our own goodness. At the base, we are good people because we like being good. We like when others are kind and good to us. So again, it's almost you need courage to do that. Just think, I am a good person. And see what happens. Again, don't manipulate anything. Just see what happens. Very often it comes, no. It's nonsense. You're here, you're trying, it's good enough. I am a good person. I mean, you think that, not me here sitting. Just allow that thought to change into a sensation somewhere in your body. The heart, in your chest, in your stomach. I am a good person. Feeling fades away, just bring back the thought. And then also before we jump into the negative emotion, it's good to experience the goodness in us. So you just think about somebody that you like, somebody that you care about, and somebody that is not suffering at the moment. Just think about these people, or one, and you will touch your good heart. It will show itself. And you can imagine that you're calling the person and you're asking, how are you? And the person says, oh wow, today I feel so well. And just see what happens in terms of sensations in your body. So this is how love feels. This is how being connected feels. Just enjoy it. Okay. Maybe what you can observe there also, when the heart is open like this, there is a lot of space, there's no strong feeling of I, me. It's just space. Very soft, very caring. And now if you can, bring up a situation or a person that you dislike. Something maybe that has happened, and then you go angry or upset or jealous. And then again, just watch the feeling. Just watch the sensation. If you're good at this, it's enough just to watch it. But when we're not trained, we grasp at these feelings and we become the feeling. So for a short while, just observe it. And you will see that it's dynamic, it changes. You're not able to hold it if you're not reproducing the thought or the image of that person. And then you ask yourself, am I this anger? Am I this jealousy? Am I the greed, the desire, whatever? Again, don't do anything, just ask yourself that question. You don't need to feel anything special, nothing special needs to happen. Just observe, just be mindful. Mindful of watching the mind, what the mind is doing. And then same as with the positive feeling, see how it changes, how it's dynamic. And then so in order to transform anything, we don't have to throw anything out, we don't have to suppress anything, but we have to have the ability to look at it with the right distance, not to get caught up, but also not to suppress it. And what will happen with time, but only with time and with practice, you will notice something. You will notice that that thing that seems to be observing, that's always the same. It is quite calm. It is kind of neutral. It just watches. Outside or like inside the mind, the other things, they change. But that which observes, actually that is always quite calm. So I think this is what is being meant by disidentifying from the emotions when they're about to carry you away.